Welcome to the next chapter of our Part of Speech series. Chapter 5, Adverb. If you like to read, we have picked up some of the best material for you. Click the link in the description to know more. Let us begin. What is adverb? Let's dig deep to understand the etymology of adverb. The first records of the term adverb come from around 1520. It comes from the Latin adverbium, which means added word. Adverbs can follow verbs and are added on to a sentence to provide more information. You need to be careful when using sentences that contain linking verbs, like be, seem, or look. Often, what comes after a linking verb modifies the subject of the sentence, which is a noun or pronoun. Adjectives modify nouns and pronouns, while adverbs modify verbs. For example, we would say the flowers smelled nice, not the flowers smelled nicely. This is because we want a word to describe the noun flowers, not the verb smelled. The flowers aren't actually smelling anything. Definition of adverb. An adverb is a word that is used to modify verbs, adjectives, clauses, and other adverbs. Many adverbs end in "ly", and they usually appear next to the word that they modify. In the sentence Bob carefully built a sand castle, the word carefully is an adverb that modifies the verb built. Adverbs are a commonly used part of speech that, like adjectives, provide more information in a sentence or clause by modifying, describing, another word. Adverbs are used to answer questions such as how, where, when, how often, and how much. For example, in the sentence Jessie will clean her room tomorrow, the adverb tomorrow tells us when Jessie plans to clean her room. As another example, the word incredibly is used in the sentence Darius is incredibly tired to say that Darius isn't just a little tired but he is tired to the point that he could fall asleep any moment. Unlike adjectives, and most other parts of speech, adverbs can sometimes be moved to another spot in a sentence, and the sentence will still make grammatical sense. Typically, this is possible when an adverb is modifying a verb. For example, the dog slept peacefully on her bed. The dog peacefully slept on her bed. The dog slept on her bed peacefully. All three of the sentences are grammatically correct and have the same meaning even though the adverb peacefully changes positions. When writing or saying longer sentences, though, it is often a good idea to keep the adverbs close to the verbs they modify to improve a sentence's clarity. We quickly ran through the spooky woods to the safety of the peaceful meadow. We ran through the spooky woods to the safety of the peaceful meadow quickly. While the second sentence does make sense, it is harder to tell which word the adverb quickly is supposed to be modifying. By keeping the adverb close to the verb it modifies, the sentence is easier to read and understand. When adverbs are used to modify adjectives or other adverbs, they are usually placed immediately before the word they modify. Adjective: he was really hungry. Another adverb: the spider crawled up the wall very slowly. When an adverb modifies an entire sentence or clause, we usually put it before the sentence, clause it modifies and follow it with a comma. Luckily, the groom made it to the wedding just in time. Adverb examples. There are many adverbs that we use in our sentences. As you are about to see, many of them end in "ly". The following list gives some examples of adverbs: amazingly, beautifully, carefully, darkly, eagerly, fast, greatly, hesitantly, inside, jokingly, later, musically, now, on, patiently, quietly, restlessly, sideways, tomorrow, underwater, very, willingly, yesterday, zealously. Adverb clause. While adverbs are single words, it is also possible for an entire clause to function as an adverb. We refer to this as an adverb clause. As is the case with most other dependent clauses, adverb clauses usually begin with conjunctions such as before, because, if, and whenever. Although they are entire clauses, adverb clauses are used the same way that regular adverbs are, to modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. For example, in the sentence "We need to leave before the mall closes." The adverb clause before the mall closes modifies the verb leave. Adverb clause examples. We can use adverb clauses in several different ways. Modify a verb. We ran across the street. Modify an adjective. School will be closed if it snows tomorrow. Modify an adverb. They worked faster than they ever had before. Like adverbs, it is sometimes possible to move an adverb clause around and have a sentence still make sense. For example, even though it probably wouldn't work, we tried the plan anyway. We tried the plan anyway, even though it probably wouldn't work. How are adverbs used? Adverbs have a lot of different uses. We can use them to modify verbs, adjectives, other adverbs, or entire sentences. Adverbs often tell us how, when, where, why, how often, or to what degree that something happens. Modify adjectives. Adverbs can modify adjectives. When they do, they usually appear right next to the word they modify. The flowers are really pretty. The incredibly talented musicians entertained the guests. I was very busy yesterday. Modify verb. Adverbs can modify verbs. When they modify verbs, adverbs may not always appear right next to the verb that they modify. He smiled gleefully. The cats went outside. I could listen to this song forever. When it comes to verbs, you need to be very careful about a particular type of verb known as a linking verb. Linking verbs are often used to link a noun or pronoun with a subject complement. Adverbs are not used to modify nouns or pronouns, and they are not used as subject complements. If you see a linking verb used in a sentence, think twice about using an adverb. Take a look at the following sentence. The house looks bad. In this sentence, the adverb badly can only modify the word looks because house is a noun, and adverbs do not modify nouns. This sentence says that the house is bad at looking at things, which doesn't make any sense. As you can see, it is important to be able to identify linking verbs so you don't accidentally use an adverb when you need an adjective. Modify other adverbs. It is even possible for adverbs to modify other adverbs. As was the case with adjectives, adverbs usually stick right next to the word that they modify when used to describe another adverb. Please speak very slowly. We crossed the rickety bridge really carefully. He spoke with the angry customer unusually calmly. Modify entire clauses, sentences. When a single adverb is modifying an entire sentence, clause, it is typically placed before whatever it is modifying and followed by a comma. Happily, the problem was solved in no time flat. Oddly, the birds circled overhead without landing. Suddenly, an army of robots burst into the room. Types of adverbs. Adverbs can do a lot of different jobs. When we refer to different types of adverbs, we are usually talking about what they are being used to describe. For example, frequency. Occasionally, sometimes, frequently, usually, constantly manner. Quickly, accidentally, cooperatively, sadly place. Here, everywhere, nowhere, above, inside, outdoors time. Yesterday, never, tomorrow, now, yet. Thanks for watching. Want to know more about English grammar? We post a weekly video on our YouTube channel. Stay tuned for the next episode. Please like and share our videos. See you next week. Till then, take care and keep learning.